Hello, Internet, and welcome to On the Screen, the podcast where I'm being lazy and I'm not going to spin a wheel. Instead, we're going to use a die on the other side of a microphone.
Yay! I won't cheat, I promise.
I believe you.
I haven't even looked at the topics yet, even though I put a picture in there. I promise I haven't even looked at the topics yet.
All right, so the topics that we have on the roll right now are going to be video game IP and other media, such as movies, comics, books, and other. If you were forced to play a single game for an entire year, which one would it be and why? Favorite spin-off titles, pros and cons of crowdfunded games, favorite video game soundtracks, and game releases overshadowed by other games.
Are we ready?
We're ready, I think.
Okay, here we go. I got a nice shiny dice. And 6.
Okay.
Oh, I only have one answer for this.
So I actually kind of have 2 myself, but
I have like 2 or 3 answers for that one, but one of them I'm pretty certain that Zombie Hand's gonna take.
Yeah, can I have that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I have 2.
Okay. Does Chicho have one, or does he need time to ponder this?
I am so ignorant of this subject. I'm just gonna sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation.
Oh, I have 3.
I might chime in with my input on what you guys suggest, but I'm clueless here.
Well, I know you'll be able to chime in on one of mine, because it's one of the titles mentioned is going to be very I think we're all going to be familiar with.
Okay, wait. Actually, now that I say that, there's one thing. I don't know when they released, but it's when 2 games went on sale. So I'll let you guys go first, because yours is actually by like what the category is, and then I'll go last.
Okay, so who wants to start?
I have like 3 answers. I googled some just so I could, but they're answers. They're ones that I actually know. I've got a whole list here, but these are ones that I actually know.
I've got 2 in mind myself. What about you, Leo?
I've got 2, but I'm pretty certain Zombie Hand's got the one I'm thinking of. But I say let Zombie Hand go first, because normally she doesn't go first on these.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. By all means.
Okay, so the first one that I know of, because Leo and I have talked about it, and I've only played one of these games. You guys will know which one. But I didn't play the other one, but you're going to know why it's such a big deal, and the fallout from what happened of it. But on the same day, in I think it was 2012, Red Dead Redemption 2 Red Dead Redemption and Alan Wake came out on the same day.
You gotta find a way to talk about Alan Wake. You just gotta do it.
I gotta do it. And it was such a bummer, because now we all know the fallout of Alan Wake being, like, obviously people are gonna go for the Rockstar title. Like, obviously. And Alan Wake was the first game that had come out of Remedy after Max Payne, and I think that had been like 5 or 6 years prior. And so, it's always a little bit like dicey to release a game from such a small developer who, until actually recently, was considered indie. I don't know if they're considered indie anymore, but yeah, they they came out on the same day, and Alan Wake became a cult classic. It had a ton of good reviews when it came out, but when you're choosing between the two, like, obviously, what are you going to choose?
Yeah, there was a lot of hype with Red Dead Redemption, and rightfully so. The game is fantastic, so it totally makes sense too that it would get the limelight over Alan Wake.
Yeah, well, and after everything, I mean, when you're Rockstar and you've done all the GTAs and they're huge titles, of course they're a bigger name, and Remedy, they make consistently good games. Even their very first game was like a top-down driving game. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it actually just got released on Steam. a few months ago. It's that one, their first Alan woke.
That's good.
The first game they ever made came out to rave reviews, and then they were able to get a little bit more of a budget, and they made Max Payne, and then they made Max Payne 2, and everybody says Max Payne 2 is better than Max Payne 1, which was also really good. So, they come out with consistently good games, but they didn't have the clout that Rockstar has. So they did kind of get overshadowed, and they didn't, and now we know Alan Wake 2 got put on indefinite hiatus because nobody wanted to. There was a bunch of publishers that they approached for, because Microsoft said no to financing it and publishing it. So they went to other people, and it didn't turn out. Nobody wanted to take the chance on what could potentially be another flop, even though they have made huge dollars on the game since then. But it's such a small title, and Alan Wake 2 is on indefinite hiatus. We haven't heard word of the TV show in like 2 years.
Oh, that's
almost
right.
3.
I totally forgot that was even supposed to be a thing.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago, I think almost 2 years ago now, Sam Lake was in LA with the screenwriter, or he was working on the screenplay with the showrunner. That's it. And they were going to be, they were working on it, but we haven't had word of it since 2018. So it's a real bummer.
That's
especially because
yeah.
I love that game so much, as I'm sure everyone knows.
Well, everyone should, because it is a solid title.
Yes.
Yeah, this isn't one of those, like, one of them is disappointing over the other. It's just bad timing, really.
Yeah. And that's, like, kind of the point, at least for me, with this whole topic in general, was, like, there are a number of games that just, they don't get the success they deserve because something that had way more hype came out around the same time. And it really sucks because it kills momentum for what could have been a franchise in some cases.
Yeah. My second one is actually a case of one was way better than the other, but there's like caveats to it, and neither of them really did well. It sucks.
Oh, interesting.
So back when the PlayStation 4 very first came out, Ubisoft came out with the first next-gen Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Unity, which was only on next-gen consoles. So same day, to kind of like appease the last-gen consoles, they came out with Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Yeah.
And so I had the PS3 at the time. Oh no, I think I had both. I got Unity on PC. That's right. That was my problem. So I installed both of them, but I started playing Unity, and of course everybody knows how infamous Unity was for being absolutely broken when it first came out, because they focused so much more on the multiplayer than they did the base game. That literally, like, I had just built my brand new gaming PC. It was amazing. At the time I was above standard. It was really good. And I loaded up Assassin's Creed. I was really excited to play it on like the high graphics. And it wouldn't run. It was running like super, super slow. So I was like, fine, I'll turn it down. So I turned it down to like medium, and it still wouldn't play properly. It was lagging so bad. I turned it down to like the most basic of graphic fidelity, and I was getting like single digit frame rates. Like there were times when it would lag so hard that it would look like it was freezing.
Oh god.
And it was bad. So I turned around and was like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like, this really killed my motivation to want to play it. So I played Rogue instead. I played the shit out of Rogue. It was so fun. It took what Black Flag had started with, like, the naval combat and everything, and what I feel did it better. Because, of course, they have something to grow off of. Right. So, but nobody really thinks about Rogue because it was the last-gen title. It was given as, like, a consolation prize for the last gen people. But in my opinion, it was superior, but like literally because it came out next to a broken game. Unity's been patched to hell now, and it's way more playable and way more, like, it's way better. But but you know, like both of them kind of get shit on now.
Oh,
Rogue's just less popular, and I think the story wasn't as engaging to a lot of people. And then Unity was broken, and that is forever just the impression that people have. You say Unity to any Assassin's Creed person or anybody who was into gaming at the time, and all they think of is, oh, it was broken.
See, my response is, oh, you mean that Assassin's Creed with that baller badass CG trailer? Like, I loved that video.
Yeah, the trailer was really good. I love that everybody put Backstreet's Back to the multiplayer trailer. That was really fun.
Gross.
Funny is what I think you meant to say. But anyway, yeah, so that's my second one. My third one might be one that one of you guys are going to say, so I'll actually hold off on it and let somebody else go.
All right.
I've only got one that I can think of. If I come up with another one, I'll bring it up later. So I just want to shoot it out from the hip. Just
do
it. So, the two that that are in comparison for is a game series that this is one of my favorite games of all time, Suikoden 2. And one of the reasons why you don't hear about it much because it's an old PlayStation 1 title. Its story is fantastic. Its gameplay is remarkable. So is its graphical art design. However, the day it came out was the same day as Final Fantasy VIII, which is on the hype train of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh man, yeah.
So it just got swallowed up. So upside, if you happen to own a copy of Suikoden 2, like my brother does, that thing is like one of the most valuable games in that you can own in the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones people kind of gravitate towards when it comes to an RPG for the PS1. Like, people are just like, if you're talking about something that is a cult classic, that is definitely one of them for the PS1, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think I found it on average as being like $200 per, like on eBay, and that's shortchanging that.
Yeah, was that a recent check? Because I haven't looked at the value on it since I was able to get a copy.
Like just a few seconds ago.
Oh,
there's
okay.
there's some people who are using it used, and it's kind of an estimate because like eBay can go all over the place.
Right. Yeah.
But Suikoden 1 wasn't a bad game. Suikoden 2 had a much better plot line and storyline, and it's so well done.
It's very true. I actually had a lot of trouble getting into the first Suikoden.
Yeah.
Just because, like you say, the plot's kind of rough in its delivery, so it's kind of hard to keep track of the story beats. But 2 had very, very fleshed out and realized characters, particularly even the protagonist, which was very, very bland and kind of meant to be a blank slate in the first game.
Yeah, in the first game, completely meant to be a blank slate, but in the second game, there's a lot of depth for them, and I love the and I don't know if this is a spoiler for it or not, because the game has been almost 20, 30 years old at this point. So
that's true.
But anyway, like one of the plot lines to it is the main character and the main protagonist getting to a point where they start snowballing like crazy. And so, and it's a plot line not really explored very much, especially in RPGs, when you're the hero of the story and you get to a point where you can't undo what you've done. So like, there's a point in that story, like basically the main character has to go to war because they literally don't have any more choices at this point. And the other diplomatic option is out the door.
Okay, so kind of puts you at a very negative position even as a hero.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of depth to that game. Also a lot of silliness. Like, if you look for it, there's a bunch of flying squirrels you can have in your army, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds a bit out there.
But one of the characters you can recruit in your team is a private detective. And one of the fun little details is you could actually go in and have the private detective get other intel on all the other, like, 108 characters on the game. Just if you want to explore more to it. Also, they have a chef cooking challenge partway through the game that you can participate in for no real reason.
Okay.
with its own storyline and plot threads and drama, and it's just crazy.
This isn't a
And
political
so,
game. This is a cooking game.
This portion of it, it has an amazing soundtrack too, because it has a song in there I actually learned how to play on guitar,
Oh, dope.
which I can't play guitar, but I learned it for this because it's not that hard. So yeah, it's actually a really well thought out, really well designed game. But the hype train for Final Fantasy VIII, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
Then, so.
And it's super depressing too because the hype train killed the game. Because I mean, the game is good, but being the follow up to the runaway smash hit that 7 was, is like I don't envy anything following up that. I mean, there's no way to live up to it.
Me and
You're in your
Chicho love
hype
Final
is too
Fantasy VIII.
crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chicho, you played through 8 back to back, like when it came out. So
That's what I did with Persona 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 8 by no means it's not my favorite of the Final Fantasy games. That's me personally, but it is by no means a bad game. It's actually really well designed and such. That being said, though, like personally, I like Suikoden 2 more.
The leveling system is a little bit...
like it's
Final
get
Fantasy
along-
VIII has kind of a pretty shitty leveling system. You can literally go through the whole game. I got to... Okay, mini story time. When I was in high school, and I played Final Fantasy VIII for the first time, this was before I really got into level grinding and how much I love level grinding now. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do in an RPG.
numbers go up.
Number go up, brain go brrr. So yeah, I love it now, but at the time when I first started playing this, I didn't like it. I didn't really enjoy battling or leveling or anything. So I managed to get almost all the way through disc 2 on level 16, which is a little weird, I think, for an RPG. I know generally by the end of the game, you're about level 40 to 45-ish in most RPGs. But I was level 16 by the end of disc 2, but you just get into, like, I wasn't utilizing the magic properly. I love Triple Triad. There's actually an app that has Triple Triad in it that I play a lot.
Yep, Final Fantasy Portal app has it, and it's a
Yeah.
big staple in Final Fantasy XIV's Gold Saucer stuff. I'll have you know, I am a competent player. I am not going to paint a target on my back for that.
You're decent.
Yeah, I had to stop myself a bit.
That's me at DDR. I'm all right at DDR, like
I
better than
exist.
easy, but not great. But yeah, anyway, Final Fantasy VIII's leveling system can be a little bizarre, and you can manipulate the hell out of it, but then it can also come back to bite you in the ass because I didn't get to the end of the game. Or no, I did get to Ultimecia, but I didn't pay enough attention to like the junctioning and everything, and so I was level like 30 and not junctioned well, and so when she summoned Griever, I was like dead. I never beat that game.
What?
Yeah. So that was my first time getting through it. And then the second time I was getting through it, it was right after I graduated high school. It was probably about like 5 or 6 months after I graduated high school. I was lied to move away from where I wanted to go to college so my parents could keep me living at home a little bit longer. They told me they would help me pay for college and then recanted on it and told me that that's not what they promised. It's a long story. Anyway, I was severely depressed. I was not in a good state of mind, and I had gone to visit my cousin, and she let me borrow Final Fantasy VIII and the guide for it. And I made a promise to myself, and this is when my love of level grinding showed up, because I made a promise to myself that I was going to beat the game this time. So I was like, by the end of disc 1, I'm going to be level 20, end of disc 2, level 40, end of disc 3, level 60, and by the time I get to the end game, I am going to be level 80. And I got a little too overzealous, and I was level 80 by the end of disc 3. And the fight with Sorceress Adele stripping Renoa to their chest, very difficult when you're over leveled because Renoa can die very fast.
Oh,
And I would heal her. I would have it go like attack, heal Renoa, attack, heal Renoa. Not enough. So so I tried. That was my second attempt. I tried a third attempt, but it was when I was in college, and it was an accelerated degree, which was a huge mistake because there were weeks I would have like 5 to 6 projects due a week. And I took a couple days off of school to play video games. I did this with Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII, where I got most of the way through, but then school kicked my ass. Oh, also with LA Noire. Never beat LA Noire, even though I really enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah. And then I need to go back to it and beat it, but I just seem to screw myself over every time I get to end game area. So I watched the ending on YouTube and claim that I call that a win, but if somebody says which Final Fantasies have you beaten, I don't include it on that list. Anyway, that's story time over with me.
wow.
I'm sorry to let you down, Chicho.
I learned something I wish I didn't know.
Oh no!
Just pretend you didn't hear it.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I've gotten like literally to the end of the game. Like I got to Griever being summoned and then just died. But
I did the same thing with Final Fantasy IX. I got to the last boss and I was just like, I'm done.
Somehow I beat 9 when I was 14 years old, and I'm like, I don't know how it happened.
I have literally, for Final Fantasy IX, I have literally bookended that game. As in, I have played the opening, where you like are doing the mock play thing, and then I have also beaten the final boss.
Nothing in between?
Nothing in between. Because Chicho, you were there when we did that. Because that was Lost Saves.
Oh yeah, that's
They
right.
were at the
Man,
final
I missed
boss.
that. Okay, we got to stay on topic, but we need to revive that. That would be
we
amazing.
got to figure out a way to do that because that was fun. Although we were so lost, I was like, did we just beat the game? Because it's just random save files on a memory card, and it's like, okay, well, we'll play Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, we like Final Fantasy. Did we win? Did we do it?
Did I do good? What happened
Apparently
here?
we did, and this is like, of course, I have like no experience with this, and I'm like, I'm guessing how to play.
Yeah, it's like, okay, figure out the mechanics and be victorious in 5 minutes. I guess I'm supposed to be emotionally attached to this person that's saying my name slowly and dying.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I ruined like a little bit. They shouldn't give you the option to rename Garnet.
Oh God.
So I did, and I renamed her Lizzie, which is what I went by in high school. It was Lizzie with an I, it was middle school and high school because I played this when I was in 8th and 9th grade. And I changed it from Dagger to Lizzie, and so it's this really powerful moment where she's there with her dagger, and she goes, "This dagger is really important, and it's powerful, and blah blah blah." And she goes off about it, and then she's supposed to name herself after it. And so, but in mind, she's like, "Yeah, this dagger is really powerful, and it's really all these other things. I'm gonna change my name to Lizzie." And then at the very, very end of the game, when you're doing, like, spoiler alert, I guess, for a 22-year-old game now.
Right.
So there's at the very end when she's doing the play, or when she's at the play and she's like depressed because she's sad and all her friends are not around, and Zidane's in the play, and he like throws his cloak off, and he says he's supposed to say, "Bring me my dagger," and it's this, oh my God, that's so amazing because we all know he's talking about her. He goes, "Bring me my Lizzie." Like, I ruined the game with this. I remember the 14-year-old me sitting there going, I ruined this.
Is broken.
Yeah, this could have been so good.
Okay, well, I'm going to post a date, and then I'm going to post the covers.
All right.
Intriguing. Ooh. Final Fantasy X or Kingdom Hearts. Oh, shit. I knew it was that's not a Square title.
No.
Okay.
Not a Square title. Well, at least that's not.
Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. Show me Kingdom Hearts.
Same,
Final Fantasy X.
same exact date in America.
Yeah, and they're both so good.
But they're so good for so many different reasons from each other. So, let's see here. Do we want an RPG from a company known for publishing Mortal Kombat and Never RPGs? Or do we want the next entry in the greatest RPG series the North Americas has ever seen in terms of popularity?
Oh, no.
Guess what didn't sell well at all?
Shadow Hearts.
Oh yeah.
Guess what
God.
still got sequels, even though it sold horrendously?
Shadow Hearts 2 is really good, too. I
I
played Shadow
know.
Hearts 2 with my cousin. Well, I came in on, like, the last half of it, but...
It's a big step up in quality, too, from 1 to 2 for Shadow Hearts. Actually, both of these got direct sequels, now that I think about it.
Yeah, but, like, the emotional impact of 10-2 doesn't kick in until the last chapter of the game, like, the last fifth of it. Like, it's fine, and it's fun, but, it, like, the real emotional impact of 10-2 is the stuff with Len and Shuyin.
Yeah, 10
I'm
I didn't play it, so I can't criticize it too much, but it
I
just
did.
felt like Final Fantasy with fashion, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
Here's
the
thing,
fashion...
that sold me on it. That's why I hopped into that one.
It's
Well, the fashion
it's
part-
fashion fantasies.
the fashion aspect of it was a little bit silly, especially because some of the outfits are just hideous. But they did. I mean, it was like a job class system, though. Like it did change your job, but like I don't know. Like it's fine. It's a fine game. It's whatever. You know, some of it's so goddamn dumb, but it's when you really get into the emotional stuff with Len and Shuyin that it like the last part of the game. When you start getting into that part of it and like I don't know, you learn their whole backstory and everything that happened to them, it's like, oh shit, I'm emotionally invested now. I never beat 10-2. I got to the Thunder Plains and I couldn't beat the Aeon or whatever that's in the Thunder Plains temple area. I don't remember exactly.
Ooh,
It
look
was
at
a
that
long
booty.
that butt.
That butt. Talk
I
about a
remember-
mad character shift here.
I remember playing the part where you're giving LeBlanc a massage, and
Stay
she's
away
like,
from the summoner.
you have to like it's like a
man.
it's like a mini game where you have to massage LeBlanc's back, and so you're sitting on her back in a skin tight, like nude colored suit, so you don't even look like you're properly dressed. And you're sitting on the back of a woman and massaging her, and every time, like, it's a mini game, so when you do it right, she starts like moaning and like, oh, right there and stuff like that. And I just remember being 16 years old, sitting in our downstairs living room because I didn't have a TV in my room where I could have played it myself. And my mom comes out of her sewing room while I'm in the middle of massaging LeBlanc's back. I've never hit the start button to pause so fast.
So many things.
But yeah, 10-2 was a little bit rough.
Missed opportunity with Pain.
Oh god, she was so cool. I never finished 10-2, but I did end up watching a Let's Play of it, and it was the end gets very, very emotional, and they really could have done more with Pain. She had so much more character than they ever let on.
Yeah, very underutilized character, unfortunately.
They would like hint at things and then be like, yeah, but we're not going to follow up on it.
Yeah.
When a game's like, hang on, I'm watching.
Of course, you go with Pro ZD for this.
I love him.
Meow. Yes, Esper, I hear you. Oh my god.
Wait.
Okay. Are we watching?
What the hell is that? Huh? Oh, I'm playing a game. I played
I had
5
to
Archibald
go around
Alliance
to let
cards,
more
and that's just
massage,
the voice that he does. Okay,
picture.
that's
That's an actual screenshot.
And
from
that's his
segment
damage
of the
sound.
game.
I think so,
that's
yeah.
his defeat quote.
Awkward.
It's a cutscene now.
I love sex.
Okay, now he's just
But
I love sex. It's like, okay, what? Yeah, that's definitely out of context.
I love.
Yeah,
Finish.
if you had like, if somebody had sent me that screenshot, like, hey, have you played the sequel to Final Fantasy X? Like, are you talking about the same game?
So here's the thing: the screenshot. Yeah, that would be like, oh, are we talking about the same exact game? Here's the picture of LeBlanc normally, and that's pretty standard issue for certain Final Fantasy characters.
Oh yeah, back when they were a little bit crazier with their outfit designs, like that's pretty typical. That's like like Adea wore something a little more tactful, I feel, but still very low cut. And
I love the dude in the back. I love that face. It looks so dumb, and I love it.
oh man, I drew a
It
pinup
looks like
LeBlanc,
he's
but never.
trying really, really hard to poop.
I drew a pinup LeBlanc, but never finished it.
Aw.
I couldn't get her foot to look right, and then I was like, I hate art.
Just have it so the foot's not there. There, severed, done. Finished.
I'll probably just do something different. If I looked, it was like 5 years ago. I bet if I looked back on it now, I'd be like, oh god, what is this?
But
I'll just do a different one.
So, yeah, Shadow Hearts had of all things the voice actor for Brock from Pokemon. He's the voice of the main character, but he barely speaks.
I love Brock. Do you remember that weird Pokemon joke where they were like, you see through the eyes of Brock, and it's just like slit lines?
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, this game, like, I played this game really late. Like, I got it. God, I don't remember exactly when now, but it was like in the early 2010s. Is when I finally got it and finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play through it. And I really, really enjoyed my time with it a lot more than I expected to. Simply because it's an RPG where you can't button mash. Like, you can't just
have
spam
to like
A. You just
you
can't.
have to actually time it, like that wheel thing. I mean, again, I played 2 more than 1, but does it have the wheel?
Yes,
that
it
you
does.
have to like. Yeah, that was so clever and just a good way to not have to button mash.
Yeah, they called it the Judgment Ring, and you could get different equipment and different items and stuff to adjust the size of the area that you need to hit, and then also adjust the size of the critical area where you'd get like bonus damage.
Yeah, I remember because there were some of them that were like teeny tiny.
Yep, and you could make adjustments to make them bigger or smaller. Sometimes it would, if you were increasing the size of the critical range, it would shrink the size of the successful hit as like a makeup for it. And that last screenshot you got right there is actually a decent example. The little bit of red shows you the crit area, basically. And it's not even a crit, that's the thing. You can still get a critical hit via the luck stat, but if you were able to get a critical hit and hit the red notches, you got a lot more damage out of it. So there is some strategy to, timing your presses, and each of the 3 different nodes on there has a different damage range for the attack as well. Huh. So, like, the first one, let's say the very first attack would do, like, the most damage. The second attack would do the least amount of damage, and then the second highest damage would go to the last one, so, stuff like that. So it's like, you kind of want to find the right rhythm to try and hit them all, but if you had to miss one, you would hope to miss this one, that kind of thing.
How much do you bet they go for? I have the first 2.
So I actually have the whole series, and the third one got really kind of weird because they went, like, a lot more lighthearted with it. They even made, like, a mobster, kind of a pseudo good guy almost, so it's very weird. But I would wager the first one is probably about $40.
Okay, so it looks like the first one is averaging between 40 and 80-ish.
Oh, wow, that took a jump. Second one, I would say...
Oh, you know what? This person actually has the first one for 90-something. Sorry, I was looking at Shadow Hearts 2.
Oh, crap.
Sorry.
Okay.
Shadow Hearts 2 actually is anywhere between 40 and 80. The first one looks like it's going for about between 90 and 150.
Damn. Wait.
Third one...
That makes me question now. Is it the promotional copy or is it the standard copy?
Shadow Hearts PS2 complete, nice condition. This 140. Oh, promo copy.
Okay, see,
140.
so
But
there is a difference with those, and that difference is the cover.
well, it does look like a lot of them are. I mean, there's still even the regular ones are just like 115,
Jeez, yeah.
90 to 115, and then the third one is like 45 to 50.
So because the first game sold so poorly, and I'm very real on this. This is exactly why this happened. When they decided to release the second game, the first game was reprinted as a promotional copy and a pre-order bonus to anyone that bought the second game.
Oh, interesting.
And because it was a direct sequel and was kind of dependent on you knowing some of the beats from the first game to fully understand the second, they took that kind of a hit. So it was like, you pre-order the second game, get the first one for free. Okay.
Please love our game.
That's a win. So, yeah. So there are, like, quite a few of them out there, but you can tell which ones were the original purchasing and which one was a please play the game. So
we've been good. Please play this.
Right. So yeah, that's my first one.
What's your second one?
Oh, what's the second one?
I feel like I wonder if it's gonna be the same one that I have.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do this. Let's play this game. So I'll do the same exact thing then. So I'm going to post the date.
Ooh, hang on. I gotta remember 2015.
Why would you do that?
No, you're right. 2015 was my worst year in life.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, a lot happened. It was not good. God, what came out September 1st? I don't know.
Okay.
I really zoned out a lot that year. That I don't remember much of it because I mean, I don't remember the.
I want to guess. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I got nothing on this one.
I'm cheating. I'm looking at Q4 releases in 2015.
Oh, you're a cheater. You're not guessing then.
But I mean, there's a lot of titles there.
Yeah, that's the same.
I wonder if I could guess by seeing the list.
No, sorry, this website broke it down by the day of the month, so I already know. Never mind.
Yeah, cheater.
I want to know.
So.
Oh, I saw this one. Yeah.
I wonder which one sold better.
And they're both only kind of whatever. Wait, is that the actual one or is that the pre?
No, this is the full. This is Phantom Pain, the full game, not Ground
Zero.
Not the thing that Chucho and I beat in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the speedruns on it that are like 2 minutes long?
Yes, I have, and it upsets me.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2 minutes, that's about how much voice acting there is
for Kiefer Sutherland.
Could you imagine like them getting accepted at like a GDQ and it's like it takes more time to set up than it does to play the game?
They do that sometimes though. That's the worst part. Like awful games done quick is like a thing, and it'll sometimes be like, okay, we're done. And this is like 2 minutes. It's like, why were you even here?
To raise money for charity.
Right.
I went to the bathroom, I got back, and it's over. It's just...
Wait, I had to go to the bathroom. What'd I miss? Everything.
I want to do prizes for AGDQ, or for Limit Break. RPG Limit Break.
Yeah.
I want to do prizes for it because it's so much smaller. I bet I could like do some prints, some like artwork and stuff, and make prints of it to give away. And just like promise that I'm not going to like sell them at my art booth or something.
Right.
They're just GDQ, not GDQ. Jesus, Limit Run, RPG Limit Break.
Good job.
I can get it right. Just make them like exclusive.
Getting there. Just getting there.
Keep them on my portfolio, but watermark the hell out of them.
I did not play Mad Max at launch, obviously.
Neither did I.
I did play the Phantom Pain at launch. I put 150 hours into that game.
Nice.
I love the ever-loving hell out of its mechanics. And I like a lot of the story, but I also feel like you can tell where things got cut really hard short because of the ever-growing tension between Kojima and Konami, which was very unfortunate. Mechanically speaking, it's one of the best stealth games there is, just straight up. I mean, you could fight me on this, and I would just sit there and say you're wrong. It's like I don't need to fight you on it. I'll just sit here and say you're wrong because you are. I mean, the game, it plays incredibly well, but its overall structure is kind of broken. Now, I say this from a place of love because, again, I put so much time into this game, but there's a lot of, oh, this is a required story mission to progress to the next story thing, and it's literally the mission you did 5 missions ago, but this time you go in without any of your pre-chosen equipment. Why am I doing this the exact same thing? Why is this not like a bonus thing where I can choose to do this for any mission? Like, this doesn't make sense. So it's very obvious that we're like, we need to pad this a bit more. They want us to have so many levels. They want something in a certain way, and we just need to make it happen.
Complete this mission, but now with this hat.
No, that's literally what it was. It's like, oh, I could go in with my camouflage before, but now I go in with olive drab, and I have no slowdown. I have none of my perks. I have none of my equipment. It's just like, go grab crap and do your thing. On-site procurement. Yes. Now, with all that said, I have gotten around to playing Mad Max. I got it out of a Humble Bundle at one point.
Oh, I think I got it on the Apocalypse sale on Steam one time for like $2.
And that game is surprisingly fun and very, very, this is going to sound weird, pretty.
I don't think that sounds weird. I love, for how much I love Mad Max, it's surprising I haven't played the game yet. I just been caught up in 1,000 other things.
Yeah, that's fair. The thing that I really like, it's an open wasteland with like a bunch of just dead space for you to drive through. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, there's nothing there. It's so boring and bland." It's like, but that's the point.
Yeah, that's Mad Max though.
Yeah, this is the world. This is the point of the world, and there is stuff there. Okay, come on. Why? No, get Nicolas Cage out of here.
But no, I'm with you on that one because I've been going through that game. Like normally, and it's something that I bumped into this issue with between like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, like the big difference between them and various other games. Like, just because you have so much open space in an open world doesn't mean that it's a good thing. Like, one of the things I liked about 4 versus 3 was that 4 happened to have more stuff in between places.
Right.
If I may, it's the difference between Horizon Zero Dawn and Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, just things to do.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing, too. It's like, you don't have to have things to do if that's the way the world is designed.
Right. Because Mad Max's world is such an vast wasteland to a point where having a car is actually one of the most important things you can have, which makes sense because it's a vast wasteland for it.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I remember Final Fantasy 15, they were bragging like, oh, it's one of the biggest open worlds and blah, blah, blah. And then it wasn't fun, though. Like, it just wasn't fun. But then I remember when Horizon Zero Dawn was coming out, people were like, how big is the world? And they were like, as big as it needs to be. And it's like, that's the best answer that they could have gone for, because if it was any bigger, you know, or, I mean, because they made it so you feel like you're traveling, but you're not getting, you know, there's not so much dead space in between where you're like, all right, I'm bored, you know? And I don't know. I really loved that they distinguished that. It was like, we don't want it to be the biggest open world. We want it to be, like, fun.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I liked, especially in the game Mad Max, is basically, unlike a lot of is I do like just the combat system in the game, especially in
yeah.
hand-to-hand combat, because I think is amazing. And it looks like they took like a page out of the Arkham series,
They
where it's
did.
more, or is Rocksteady games did this one?
They did
Mad
not.
Max? Okay, but anyway, took a page out of the Arkham City, and the Arkham series for it on how they did the combat. But they also have Mad Max carries a sawed-off shotgun with him. That's his thing. And quickly, you could just end a fight by just unloading a shell in there.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to always do that simply because they're scarce. They're not everywhere. Like getting bullets is like a prized commodity.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer in aesthetic over if your game has or your storyline has a plot line for it, that the aesthetic could fit that plot line makes
That aesthetic.
that aesthetic. So like it being a vast wasteland, because playing through it, there are times where you're just driving and there's nothing else. You're just driving on the big desert road. But that makes sense. That's Mad Max's world for it.
Exactly. Now,
Like,
this game had killer good fire effects too, by the way.
oh yeah.
Ooh, I'ma play it.
And the storms in the game are a highlight.
I remember Woody sharing a picture with Brandon and our friend Woody, of
I think
Mad
I met
Max,
that
and
guy once.
I don't know, man. Like that picture he got, it was like during a storm. Yeah, it just looked so freaking good. It was just a screenshot he took while he was playing it, but it just captured the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's
Okay, well. Oh, go ahead.
no, fine. I had nothing really more to add. I'm just finding more pictures.
Oh, no one said my third one.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very important one, but both of the games did extremely well.
Oh, good.
And it was kind of a meme phenomenon,
Oh God.
in the best way possible. But I think some people might remember in 2020 when Doom and Animal Crossing came out on the same day.
Yeah, that was good.
And they memed the hell out of it, and everybody was drawing like Isabel being besties with Doom Guy and them voting for each other's game for Game of the Year. And it felt very sweet and wholesome, and I love it.
And it was a thing that shouldn't have happened, but did.
Yeah, and I just love
Forbidden, but-
how many
Right?
how many memes, like how supportive these two very, very, very different games were. 'Cause
Could not have been more different.
yes, because you don't normally see, Doom and Animal Crossing, crossing paths. and yeah, the people that played Doom making all the memes about, supporting Animal Crossing and vice versa. Like, it was just so sweet and wholesome, and I loved it.
They didn't exactly overshadow each other, unfortunately.
That's true. They just came out on the same day. I guess that is a little bit off.
So that's the thing. It's actually a prime example of how they played off of each other to make sure that neither of them really failed. Like, they weren't competing for the same market, but they were kind of trying to
Bolster each
entice
other.
the other side to, hey, give us a try too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like more people who played Doom would be interested in trying Animal Crossing than the other way around, if only because Animal Crossing is also meant for kids.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's very fair.
But I do love that they just supported each other, and that instead of being like a competition, it was just a wholesome thing.
Yeah, it was very, very cool to see that kind of. It wasn't even really cross promoting because, like,
I think the fans did it more than the publishers did it too.
Yeah,
The publishers got in on that like way later in that though.
Mhm.
The fans did it first.
Yeah, I think that kind of speaks almost more to the gaming community as a whole than it does to even really the publishers. Just showing like, hey, you know what? We can be supportive of each other even if we don't play the same material.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I really want to find There was just the cutest little comic that someone did of them voting for each other's games for Game of the Year, and just the little face that Isabelle made when she's like smiling and happy while voting for Doom. It was just wholesome and sweet.
Yeah. Oh boy. Good times. Did Chicho come up with any, or have anything he wanted to double back on?
Yeah, I have something I was going to chime in on. Isabelle is only 3 years old, but 28 in dog years, so I guess she can drink alcohol.
Yep. Go ahead, tell the Doom guy that he can't drink alcohol. I dare you on that one.
I thought you were talking about the shipping thing, and I was like, I don't ship it. I was like, because she's drinking.
I'll do it. I'll ship it.
Well, I mean, if she is 28 in dog years, yeah, ship confirmed. Okay. No, that's okay. Anyway, so I was looking up Suikoden.
Suikoden,
yeah. So I was spelling it wrong, and Google autocorrected it to sweet codeine. And
gotta get my hands on that.
Hold up various articles about Nigeria's deadly cough syrup crisis. Something to do with a very sweet strain of codeine that's in cough syrup. So, yeah, interesting. But yeah, actually, after looking at the artwork of Suikoden, I don't know if it was the first one or the second one, but I vaguely remember being at somebody's house in grade school watching them play this game. And I didn't play it myself, but I watched them play it for a couple hours. I'm like, oh, holy cow, you have a huge roster of people that can be in your party.
Yeah. That's like the big selling point for those games was that you had to get like 108 stars of Destiny.
Yeah. And this was like prior to me owning a PS2. I didn't have a PS1, so I remember just watching my friend play this thinking, I want this game, but I can't play it. So I might have to, I don't know, find a way to play it.
I can help you.
If you do, that's one of the the games
I'll find a
suggest a lot of
PS2.
people with.
Find a PS2 for you.
Oh, I still got a PS2. I just got to find the game now.
Oh.
He's got one
You're on
now.
that one.
I'm halfway there. So. All right.
Unless you're going price-wise, then you're like an eighth of the way there.
Oof. So the thing I was going to bring up for this topic, which isn't really right on the money, but in my experience, one that overshadowed the other, not by release date, but by availability to me when I picked them up on sale, was Destiny 2 and Rocket League.
Oh, dear God, yeah.
I've already talked about this in another episode, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but just basically, and also if you hear a crying baby in the background, don't worry, she's being taken care of. But Rocket League was on sale for like $10, and Destiny 2 had just come out, and I got like the gold edition that came with like the season pass or all the DLC or whatever. And I was on Green Man Gaming, and so I got Destiny 2, but then it was like, well, for $10 more, you reach this limit where you get like an extra 20% off or something like that. Some sort of weird coupon thing. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll find something for $10. Rocket League happened to be on there. I bought it just for the sake of buying it because it was actually cheaper to buy it, add it to my cart, and then get the discount. And then, lo and behold, here I am later. I think I have maybe 25 hours in Destiny and over 800 hours in Rocket League.
Isn't that how it goes, though?
The unexpected is to be expected.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, I'm like an adult playing this game that's like, like an indie game about like little cars playing soccer. It's like, what the heck? And then I realized, you know what? Now I understand how my dad, when he was in his late 20s / early 30s, spent so much time playing Pac-Man when I was a
Dr.
kid.
Mario too, right?
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, but one that's more in line with what the topic is specifically. I don't have a personal experience with this game, but I know of it, and I'm well aware that Brandon's played it. But Titanfall 2, that released right in between two other first-person shooters.
Call of Duty,
back in 2016.
Battlefield.
Yeah, so Battlefield 1, I don't know which one was which, but it was Battlefield 1 and then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. One came out a week prior, and then one came out a week after Titanfall 2.
Oh,
They got swallowed. Titanfall 2 got swallowed up between those two.
And the worst part is, too, EA is the publisher of Battlefield and Titanfall.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally screwed themselves by doing that.
Well,
So
leave it to
dumb.
EA.
Ah, God, right. It's really depressing, too, because, yeah, I do remember that now that you have mentioned it, and I really did enjoy playing.
You can't screw me, I'll screw me.
I'll show you.
I take it you guys caught that.
Yes.
Yeah, Jackie's like, you can't screw me, I'll screw me. That's exactly what they did, though. It's like, oh, here. Well, and then, they have a history of doing stuff like that, too, because you got the release of Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, right before E3, and then at their E3 conference, they say nothing about it. It's like, you could have used that as a opportunity to remind everybody, hey, we have new games being shown here, but don't forget, we did just put out a brand new game for you guys to enjoy now at home. And no, they didn't. They just released it and then forgot about it.
Jeez.
So, yeah, no, EA kind of screwed themselves. Titanfall 2 is a fantastic first-person shooter and is a great single-player experience if you are willing to take the time to, actually explore it.
That's all I would do in a single player.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff they do in that game, so it's really unfortunate that so few people have actually played it, because I really liked it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it
on
looks
sale,
pretty
but
polished.
I'll go put Titanfall on my wish list.
Titanfall once.
Oh, that's right, Jackie did play one whole round of Titanfall once.
Brandon had to go.
Proud of her.
So, okay, yeah, so Titanfall 2 is on Steam, and it is a $30 game. And
I just added it to my wish list.
40,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive.
I'll be honest. I mean, go ahead.
Sorry, I just am I'm on the main page of Steam now, and completely off topic, but I got an ad for a game, or a preview for a game. It says the community recommends this game today. Russian hentai.
Well, that's today, January 23rd. Enjoy that.
Yeah, apparently it's a first-person shooter.
What?
How do I link this page to you guys?
Right-click, copy page URL.
Huh. Well,
You ended up in
84
Russia.
cents. Yeah.
Your goal is to defeat the
There's
final
an
boss.
error.
That's the name of the game?
Russian hentai.
I mean, it's just a little on the nose, maybe.
maybe.
One beautiful. Okay, you ended up in Russia. Your goal is to defeat the final boss, fight enemies with bears, collect bottles, increase your authority, explore the city. If your authority reaches a certain level, you can fight the final boss. One beautiful map, 6 different weapons, advanced AI.
From Chan Entertainment.
84 cents.
Yeah.
See, when you just said Russian hentai, I just immediately thought of...
Hentai?
Well, no, actually, I just heard Russian and
Really,
then,
it's in the name.
and then
Like,
thought
no one
of
would point you for not
my high school history teacher.
Say, Brandon, what's that in your library?
Dude, I've got no quarrels. I have Honey Pop in my library. It's fine.
Fair enough. That's a fun
God,
game, too.
there's another one called The Last of the Waifus. It's like a Last of Us style game, but it's literally a first-person shooter.
Waifus, yes. Okay, I see it. Oh, this
Look,
looks like it's got this has higher quality production value too.
There's a nudity to it.
Oh, sorry, kind of getting off topic here, but we already were. So I think in the future, one of the topics should be video game endings that we think are stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one right now.
I'm going to write that down.
I want to talk about it at some point.
Waifu horror,
for
the
games I
8
haven't
pictures.
Video game endings we think are
Straight
stupid.
up poo-poo.
I really want to spend my money on this franchise. Anime Redemption. It's a Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh crap! There was something I was gonna say, and then about the actual topic, and then Liz threw me off on that one.
Sorry. It's a whole bundle of just
Of bad. Very
Of just-
bad.
really bad games.
There's 11 games for $13.
Do I really want to spend my money on this?
You-
Just for the laughs?
You really don't unless you plan to stream yourself playing them all back to back.
I could.
Then do it.
What else do I do with my life?
I don't know.
Anywho, I
Sorry.
got
Go ahead,
nothing
Leo.
about the. I had that topic and then I lost it and I forgot what we were talking about before we started talking about Russian hentai. Something. No, Titanfall. Right.
Yes,
I
Titanfall 2.
remember.
Oh,
So,
right,
like,
sorry.
What it was is that and because I actually had the choice of getting Titanfall 2 or BF1 or
Don't say BF1.
that's what that's called. Battlefield
Boyfriend.
1.
Sure,
Boyfriend
let's go with
number 1.
boyfriend. Let's go
But
with
that's boyfriend number 1, not like boyfriend number 2.
No one's
boyfriend.
gonna think boyfriend.
No one's going to think Battlefield.
That was the problem. Nobody did.
Exactly.
But I stuck with it because as much as Titanfall as cool as it was, because Battlefield 1 was set in World War One, and I have not seen very many games set in that era.
It's a valid point, actually, because I think that was an option for me to get as well for doing something, and I did, because similar games you've played.
Literally was just showed up on the side
I love it.
of my Steam.
So, Leo, I'm
trying to keep the topic going.
This is later than we usually do this, so I feel like it's just getting to me.
It's
Sorry,
getting to all
I'm
of us,
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I also picked up Battlefield 1 because it was part of a thing I did for Intel. They sent a thingy for a thingy to do a thingy, and then they said, pick 2 of these 6 games. And I said, okay, I'll take this game and this game. And one of this games was this game that we speak of, which was Battlefield 1.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I knew you were fishing for it.
Nice.
I casually, just in the background while Leo was talking, was like, butt fucking.
Butt
I like how it's
fondling.
casual butt fucking too.
Well, yeah, if it's in the butt, then it's casual.
I don't think you might not want to hang out with Brandon
I feel
very
like
often.
that's opposite. I feel like once you get to that level, it's a little more than casual.
Nah, it's casual, though. Come
God, I
on.
have tears in my eyes.
Home is where the pants aren't.
Oh shit, I'm wearing pants. I must not be home.
I must not be home either. Because I'm still wearing mine. And that's like a cardinal sin for the Brandons.
I mean, mine are joggers. Mine are the Game Grumps joggers that say tennis no less than 12 times on them.
Tennis.
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 Tennis!
Tennis.
You and I
Ah,
quote
there you go.
the
Thank you, Jackie. You got it.
the American Dad episode. What's that kid's name?
American Dads.
It's an American Dad skit where, oh god, they sing.
Roger,
No, they were.
Steve.
No, it's like they got a kid from Africa, and then they got like really tired of him being grateful for everything because they're like, oh my god, he's so nice and he just is grateful for everything that we give him. He's so annoying, so they abandon him at like Home Depot or something. And then they feel bad, so they go back for him. But the entire time, it's some weird like they're just like they're saying his name, but just like how we were doing just now.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right. Well, I think we've all lost our minds with how late it is. Normally, we aren't as loopy, but we're also normally done an hour ago because we start an hour earlier.
Yes, but that's okay. It was still fun, and hopefully not. It didn't get off topic too much until the end there with Russian hentai and last of the waifus.
That'll be a sad day when there's only one waifu remaining.
Definitely won't be me. I am no one's waifu.
Aw,
I'm my own waifu.
I don't. No, I'm not.
You can't screw me. Only I screw me.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks for watching all. Okay, I would say weak, but it wasn't.
Excuse me.
I thought that was Leo.
No.
Well
I'm the
done.
burper around here.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Yeah, my burps are tied in with my belch. My burps and belches and my hiccups are all tied together, and it becomes really nasty business.
It's weird.
I guess if I learned one lesson today, it's that you can sell me with something if it's out of the if it's not very commonly done.
If not a lot of people
What?
do it, I'll try it.
Yeah. That's the lesson for today. Try new things.
Pretty much.
But don't try everything.
No.
But not everything.
Casual
All right,
stuff.
but
Until next time, guys. Hopefully you'll watch the next one. It'll probably be less loopy than this.
Yes.
all right.
Bye.
night, everybody.
Bye.
Boy.